In the beginning there was the wheel, after they invented knobble tyres and motocross was born, and also motocross races. Yes, maybe it was not so simple, maybe it was not so immediate, but for sure motocross has now a story made obvious by names, facts and numbers. And about numbers, this year there is one special anniversary to celebrate, the 60th year from the first Motocross of Nations. It was in the summer of 47 that on a beach of La Haye in the Netherlands, three national teams, Great Britain, Belgium and the Netherlands, for the first time fought between themselves to win the Motocross of Nations. Great Britain with Bill Nicholson on BSA, Fred Rist on BSA and Bob Ray on Ariel won the first trophy, after they went on to win a further 15 editions. Just like USA, who arrived in the Nations in the 80s and won 13 consecutive rounds, with a further 2 in 96 and 2000. And the last 2000 edition with Carmichael, Wyndham and Tedesco. With this victory, the USA have now caught up with England, who has 16 victories. 15 victories for Belgium, 2 for Italy and 1 for Russia, Czech and France. And now we are ready for another great round of this great competition, the Olympic Games of Motocross. The 2005 edition of the Motocross of Nations in Ernie was incredible. A crowd of over 60,000 fans. Fantastic race action in all 3 races, for sure. The best motocross show of the year. On the top of the motocross world, the US team, they returned after some years to win. The team were composed of Ricky Carmichael in MX1, Ivan Tedesco in MX2 and Kevin Wyndham in Open. A great team for sure, but with one who could make the difference was the phenomenal Ricky Carmichael. He twice finished first position in race 1 and race 3. Second position for the French team with Michael Pichon, Sebastian Tortelli and David Villeman. Tortelli and Villeman arrived directly from the USA, where they have full-time rides. They rode strong, and had not been for a bad result from Tortelli, 29th position in race 2, which prevented them from finishing higher. Third position for the Belgium team, made up of Stefan Everts, Steve Ramon and Kevin Strybers. They were the winners in the 2004 edition and arrived in Ernée like the anti-US team, and at the end of race 2 they were in the lead, but after a great season Everts was not so strong and he finished 5th in race 1 and 9th in race 2. Ricky Carmichael made the difference. For the rest, a good job for the Kiwi boy Townley, Coppins and Cooper, who finished in 4th position. And for Great Britain and Estonia, 5th and 6th. The Motocross of Nations, the Olympic Games of the sport, moves from France and Ernée and crosses the Channel and arrives in Great Britain, in Hampshire, one of the largest counties in England. In the centre of Hampshire is Winchester, an unsport cathedral city on the edge of the South Downs. Winchester, England's ancient capital and the former seat of King Alfred the Great. Winchester is best known for its 11th century cathedral, the famous Winchester College, and for the Great Hall, which for over 600 years has housed the mysterious Arthurian Round Table. Today, Winchester combines the best of city life with the freshness of a surrounding countryside. A new circuit was created for the 2 biggest off-road motorcycling events in the United Kingdom of this season, in Matterley Basin near Winchester. That also hosted the 2006 British Grand Prix. Matterley Basin is situated only 5 minutes from the M3 motorway and Winchester city centre, and has excellent road, rail and air and ferry links to the continent. The stupendous event of the Motocross of Nations is also the occasion of many initiatives. The many press conferences and meetings are a real fusion of sport and glamour. In Matterley Basin, we started with a press conference for the main teams. We spoke of solidarity with Ustream that linked motocross and supermoto with the Spinal Cord Research Foundation, Wings for Life. After a meeting of Ustream executives with the American press, this was the occasion for Giuseppe Longo, Ustream president, to explain the project of his society. On the sports side, there was the balloting for the composition of Saturday's starting grid. And to close a very special Saturday, a real special event, a talk show managed by Jeff Emig with Ricky Carmichael, Stefan Everts, Roger De Costa and Eric Gabors, legends of motocross who spoke of motocross. It was unforgettable. Sunday morning, we took a look forward to 2007 edition of the Motocross of Nations in the USA, speaking with the FIM president, Francesco Zerbi, the Ustream president, Giuseppe Longo, and Wolfgang Strub, FIM Motocross Commission president, and Robert Razor, FIM vice president, and Bill Amick and Jonathan Beasley, executives of Bud Creek Motocross for the Nations. A really, really fantastic weekend for motocross. For me, this is not a surprise because it's from 3 years that I said that the motocross is growing and it's growing well. It's enough to see what happened last year in France and this year here. I think that a show like this is dignified, not only of the motocross and of road race, but although all sports. It was an incredible show for the sportive side, for the crowd, for the show.
It's fantastic because the motocross now it's really growing up very much. Here, this is a dream come true. We have inside the race we have over 80,000 spectators between the 2 days and more than 20,000. They don't arrive to come because it was completely full and the policy was stop all the road around. This is something unique. It's I don't know, like Formula 1, MotoGP, and I'm very proud of that. I'm really thinking we make a great job the last 3 years. I want thanks very much the FIM for to believe on us, and I want thanks all the rider, the team, the press, the sponsor, everybody. They gave to us the opportunity to work on that.
The Motocross of Nations is now, without any doubt, the biggest, most important event of the year. There's no race better. It's the biggest, it's the best, and everybody who is here and who can watch it on TV is impressed. We have seen nothing better than that. The biggest race in history. It's a great crowd, it's a great atmosphere, it's full of emotion, it's the best riders, it's best racing. You also see how happy I am about this race. And next year we see it in the United States, so we will go for it. FIM Motocross of Nations, nothing better than that.
And for Francesco Zerbi, it's also the leave-taking moment. I think that we have able to go out when we have done good things, like those that the FIM made so far. And this show is the demonstration. And we have to find the courage and the power to go out just in the moment that we are in the top. Like the FIM in this moment, I only hope that who will come after me, that he will work and be able to maintain this level and maybe grow it. After the heavy rain on Friday, there was sun beaming down on Matterley Basin for the Saturday's qualifying races. A fantastic English afternoon for the start of the 60th Motocross of Nations. Great crowd with many flags waving in the wind. It was fantastic. In MX1 qualifying race, US rider James Stewart showed that he was not here in England as a tourist. He started strong, took the whole shot, and after he remained in the lead for the entire race. In second position, Stefan Everts, also the 10 times world champion, started well chasing down Stewart. After a small mistake, he returned back into second position to see the true Everts. Maybe we will have to wait until tomorrow. Behind him, home rider Billy McKenzie. He rode well, staying close to the front runners, making the most of the mistake of Sebastian Porcel, overtaking him for third position and then fending off the challenge of Josh Coppins. In MX2 qualifying race, the US rider Ryan Filippoto took the whole shot, relying on Lady Luck. He was lucky during the first lap after he'd led all the race, riding really spectacularly. Behind him, the new MX2 world champion Christophe Porcel. The French rider tried in vain to pass Filippoto, but could not overtake. But at the finish, he was a good second, not that far behind the American. Third position for the former MX2 world champion Antonio Caroli. The Italian rode well, lying in fifth position after the start, making the most of a mistake from Rattray. Then overtook Townley in the final part of the race. In the open qualifying race, the Belgian rider Steve Ramon followed the American example. He increased his advantage lap by lap, ensuring a good gap from the chasing pack to the finish flag. The US rider, Ivan Tedesco, tried his best to catch Ramon, but found the Belgian too fast, deciding to defend his second position. Great race for the South African, Wyatt Davis. He led for the opening lap, strongly defending his position against Ramon and Tedesco, and finally finished in third. After Saturday's qualifying race, the US team were in the lead with 2 points, gaining the first place on the gate. Second position for the Belgians with 3 points in front of France with 6. It's a mighty army. There are the European teams that will try to defeat the US in this Motocross of Nations. For sure, we need to take a good look at the home team of Great Britain. They have won the trophy 16 times, but not since 1994 have they stood on the highest step of the podium. This year, team manager Rob Herring lines up Billy McKenzie in MX1, Tommy Searle in MX2, and Carl Nunn in the Open.
I think this year, maybe for the first time in 6 or 7 years, we actually have quite a young team, the youngest team we've had in a long time. We have 3 riders that have all had pretty good results in the Grand Prix this year.
The Belgium team is one of the favourites. They have won the trophy 14 times, the last one in 2004. Obviously their top rider is the 10 times world champion Stefan Everts, who will ride in MX1.
Yeah, this is finally going to be the last big event for me. I still have a few races to do, but you know, Motocross of the Nations is anyway the biggest race of the year, the biggest crowd, the biggest media attention.
With Stefan the team manager Joel Robert, who lines up 2 Suzuki riders, Kevin Strybus in MX2 and Steve Ramon in the Open.
Not because Carmichael is not there, because Belgium always came to go on the podium. And when we go to the podium, we try to go to first place.
Italian team would be the surprise of this Nations. They have won twice before the trophy, and after a disappointing performance last year in Ernée, the Azzurri have a great wish to redeem themselves. The riders selected by team manager Andre Bartolini are David Philippart in MX1, Antonio Caroli in MX2 and Christian Beggi in the Open. 3 riders that this season were in the top positions in MX2 and MX3 class, and Andre keeps no secret of his ambitions.
Yeah, it's possible finish in the top 4 or 5, but also in the podium. And 2004 it's not so good because it's my first year and I am a little bit not so good because I have not so experienced. Last year I have my wrist injured and with 450 in Ernée it's very hard for me. But this year I feel very good with the bike.
Another team with great ambitions is the French team. So far, they have won the trophy only once in 2001. Last year, they were in second position, but in this occasion, the team manager, Olivier Robert, lines up 2 world champions, Christophe Pourcel in MX2 and Yves de Maria in the Open. It's true that the choice of the riders for the French team is really difficult because we have some riders that rode well. The target of the French team is always the podium. In the last 2 years we are on the podium. After the race we say the place on the podium, but the target is always the podium and we hope in a victory. Yeah, I hope to do my best after we are all 3 from Marseille, and I think that we understand really well from us and we will make all the possible to make a podium. The third rider would have to be Michael Pichon, but after a big crash in Ernée, he has been substituted by Sébastien Pourcel. The United States came late to the Motocross of Nations. On this side of the Atlantic, flat track and road racing were the dominant forms of motorcycling sport for years. But when they arrived, oh, they really arrived. The US team came close to victory a couple of times in the 1970s, finishing runner-up in the Motocross of the Nations in 1974 and 1977. And by the 80s, they had total domination of this event by winning 13 consecutive editions. The US team won also 3 more editions in 96, 2000 and 2005, the last edition in 08 where Carmichael was on top form. And obviously, they are the favourites for the number 1 in 2006. Roger DeCosta had some problems with Ricky Carmichael, who recently injured his left shoulder in the last round of a national. He will not ride the Nations and will be substituted by Avon Ditesco.
Ricky was bummed out not to be able to be racing here, and so I am too, but I feel we have a good team here, and we have a team that is very capable. Ivan, who is replacing Ricky, did a good job last year. Last year won his first Motocross of the Nation.
With Tedesco, who will ride in MX1 on a Suzuki and lines up beside 2 Kawasaki riders, the young 18-year-old Ryan Filipotto, new light class champion at Nationals, and MX2 James Stewart in the open class.
I mean, for me, it's just a great experience. You know, last time I came over here was for Geldorf, Germany, a few years back when I was riding the 80cc races in Geldorf, yeah. So I mean, it's good. You know, it feels weird to come over here the first time and already have a number 1 on your bike.
And Roger closes with a dream.
We are tied now with England at 16 wins each, and it would be cool to go away here with number 17. It would be nice to carry that trophy Sunday night.
There is not only Europeans and USA who will fight for the win in this 2006 Motocross of Nations, but also a lot of other teams arriving from all around the world. Probably the strongest will be the New Zealand team. Team manager Russell Berlin lines up the same team that last year in Ernée finished in 4th position. With Josh Coppins for the last time on Honda in MX1, Ben Townley arriving from the USA after a not unforgettable season, and the young fast Cody Cooper in the open class.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I came here out of shape and not really ready, and I got on a podium, so...
It's great. It's really good. It's always, even just walking in here, catching up with a lot of people that, you know, I dealt with over the 5 years that I was in Europe.
But also the South African team that last year finished in 9th position, with Tyler Rattray, top rider for his team riding in MX2. The team manager Greg Albertine lines up Wyatt Davis in the open class, and Neville Bradshaw, who has substituted Gareth Swanepoel, who picked up an injury in the last round of the English Championship.
Yeah, it's going to be a good race. The track's going to be really good. I think they changed some good things, and it's going to make it interesting. The riders in our team, Neville Bradshaw's riding MX1, Tyler Rattray is riding really well on the MX2 bike, and I'm riding the open class. And you know, I think we can make a good effort, maybe surprise a few people.
I think if me, Tyler, and White all do our best, I think we can finish like in the top 8. I think.
The Japanese team flew to Europe with 2 very experienced riders, Akira Narita, who will ride in MX1, and Yoshi Asuta, who in 2005 rode in the World Championship in the open class, and the youngest, Yoki Kojimi, in MX2.
My feeling is very good because maybe I like England, so and many people is very good, and yeah, feeling good. I want to go top 5. Japanese rider, very good rider, so possible.
I'm really happy to stay here, and I hope to do a good result. Great interest also for the China team selected by Shinrei team, managed by Andre Massant.
Shinrei asked me that I make a team for that I make everything ready for the China drivers, die coming now here. And I say, okay, we do that. And now we have a China team is here. And I hope that they do it very good.
All to discover the China riders. Wei Wing Su in MX1, Li Shi in MX2 and Yo-Yo in MX Open Class. They all ride on Hondas. So here we go. Welcome to Matley Basin here in Great Britain, Winchester, for this 60th edition of the Motocross of Nations. And what a crowd has turned out. We're in excess of 70,000 from around Europe and around the world. The Americans are here, of course, and so are many others in one guise or another. Motocross of Nations, there they are. We've got the Belgians coming over to say goodbye to Stefan Everts. This is his last competitive ride before he retires. The Italians, the South Africans, they're all here en masse. And so are the girls. She's nice. Okay, well, hats are splendour. And, well, you know, it really was a bit of a fashion show here, I can tell you. Look at this. Team, well, I'm not sure that was Austria or Australia. Kasia, of course, one of our major sponsors this year. Master Tent also, one of our major sponsors. Look at that for a sellout camping site. Hey, we've got race 1, starting list, MX1, MX2, United States, Belgium, France, New Zealand, South Africa, Great Britain with Mackenzie and Searle, Italy and Estonia. Finland, Spain, Australia with Metcalf and Ridden. Japan there with Kajimi. German and Portugal with the two Gonsalves boys. Canada and Norway. Czech Republic, Slovakia, Switzerland and Sweden. These were the qualifiers. Remember, 20 teams qualify. The rest went to the B race, which was won by Denmark, incidentally. There it is, number 2 on the inside. That is Ryan Filippoto, the American 18-year-old ace. And number 5 alongside him will have, of course, is Christophe Pourcel, the newly crowned MX2 champion. Here they go. Right, through the first corner. Who's got the whole shot? Looks to me like a Belgian rider. That's got to be Everts. Well, of course, I said the retiring 10 times champion Stefan Everts. That is Stewart, number 1 behind him on the 450 Kawasaki. So James Stewart. Oh, and that's Tommy Searle. Young Tommy Searle on the floor. High hopes for Great Britain here today, but it's all been dashed, and we've got another big crash. That looks like one of the French riders has gone down. That, I think, is Sebastian Pourcel. Yes, it is. And one of the Italian riders. Well, that's Caroli. And Tony Caroli, the former MX2 champion. He's also down, so tough one for those two. Italy, it's going to be a big, big mountain to climb now for the Italians and indeed for the French, but it's Belgium. Now, where is the second Belgian rider? Remember, 2 riders from 2 classes in each heat. They score 1 point for first, 2 points for second, right down to 40 points if you don't finish the race. Oh, and it looks like Tommy Searle's about to collect his first 40. Tough luck for the young lad. James Stewart, well, it was Stewart that led the qualifying heat yesterday and beat Everts into second place. Everts has decided to return the favour here at the moment. Can Stewart get past the reigning MX1 world champion and the retiring champion? And a big announcement here today, well, last night I should say at the press conference, is that Everts will manage the KTM team for next year. Unbelievable. That really did make the jaw of Michele Rinaldi drop, I can tell you. They knew nothing about it. So, Everts going orange. And the other big news is that Leon Everts, the 2-year-old, is signed by Yamaha for €1 to ride Yamahas when he first starts to competitively ride. So how about that for a bit of drama here at the Motocross of Nations. The 60th run in here. Well, Great Britain last won this in 1994. It was Rob Herring, who is the team manager, and Paul Malin, of course, and Kurt Nickel were indeed the winners down there in Switzerland in Rogenburg. Well, Britain haven't won it since. They have exactly 16 wins to their name. America have also 16 to their name. So it's all about who's going to lead here today or leave here today with that 17 number. Well, at the moment, Belgium have it from America. Well, Stewart, of course, here racing in England for the very first time in front of this European crowd. It's gone down. He got it cross-rutting coming down the hill. Stewart's lost it. And that's Townley, number 11, Ben Townley. And That looked like Filippoto that went through there also, so the American's got to get it going again. Let's have a look as he came down the hill. He went for a tear-off from his goggles. That front wheel just slid over the berm. Down he went. Well, Stewart's not used to throwing that bike down the track. So, that's the fight now for third position. Purcell and Townley. So Ben Townley for New Zealand, of course, have got a strong team, the Kiwis, with Josh Coppins, Cody Cooper and Ben Townley. Townley opting to ride the MX2 bike in this edition of the Nations, the 60th running of this event. But there is Filippoto on the MX2 bike. Well, the young 18-year-old, number 2, proving that stronger than Stewart. Is that Stewart behind him? No, it's not. That is Purcell. There is Stewart about to go past Townley. Well, because Ben racing in America this last year, so it's nice to catch up with some of his friends when he got back over here. It's the fight for fourth position. Whoa, and look at Stewart all over the place. He really is riding the wheels off this bike at the moment. And Townley, well, he would have already picked up the American pace. These boys really do give it all. So battles further on down the field. That looks like Strybus. Kevin Strybus, United States at the moment, 6 points. Belgium with 12, New Zealand with 12, Italy 19, South Africa and Estonia. That's the top 6. Remember, it's the score of 2 riders. That is Kevin Strybus. France, Finland, Australia, Spain, Germany and Portugal. And unfortunately, the host nation, Great Britain, way out of this one. Switzerland, Japan, Czech Republic, Canada, Norway. Well, tough luck for Tommy Searle. Great Britain there. Oh. Well, 19th position for Great Britain. Well, I've got to say, it really has been a tough one for them. Billy McKenzie, he's in the MX1 class out in this. So Everts, Filippoto, Stewart, the American second and third. Purcell, Townley and David Philippots on the MX1 bike. A change from MX2 for the Italian. Coppins, Rattray, Nagel. There is McKenzie, 10th at the moment. So whatever Billy does, it's all going to be sport rather by Tommy Searle's crash on that opening lap. And Tommy has retired from this race, hopefully not injured. He'll be back for his second MX2 outing, which is coming up right after this. Caroli, 13th, well, from being on the floor. Antonio Caroli on the gas. Antipyrinen, Agaliok, Reardon and Bradshaw for South Africa. Campano down there in 18th. So remember, that's 18 points. So your 2 riders combine the points together, you can throw out the worst scorer of the 3 races, and that's what you're left with. And if you happen to have the least amount of points, there's the fight for second position, and it is the 2 Americans, Filippoto on the MX2 bike and Stewart on the MX1 bike. And Stewart going up the inside. No, Filippoto up the inside, that's Stewart up the outside. Who's got the gas? And it's Stewart. Well, hardly surprising on a 450 Kawasaki, as averse to the 250 machine, so that's how second will be. But it is Stefan Everts that's out front, and there is the 10 times world champion, 101 Grand Prix wins. If he can beat the Americans here, well, and if he does it twice, that really will crown his glory, because he is going to take the checkered flag here in race 1. Stefan Everts for Belgium. It's all about where Kevin Strybus will finish, and I can tell you Kevin has crashed. Well, there's the race result. Everts from Stewart, Filippoto, Purcell, Townley, Coppins, Philippots and Nagel, the top 8. So that's 1 to 8 points for those guys. It's all about where their partners have finished. Rattray, Caroli up to 10th. Strybus finished 11th. Leok, McKenzie down to 13th. Barragan, Purcell and Agaliok in 16th. So Stoller, Bradshaw, Perrin and Metcalf and Reardon, the 2 Aussies, cahoot. But what did the winner think of that result?
Yeah, it was a great race. I took a good start and I could control the race, and yeah, it was great. To be in front and to win the first moto. And yeah, there's a second moto coming, so at least I want to do as same as good, and hopefully I can do another win in the second moto. That would be great to end my career in a great way. So what else can I say? I'm very happy to be here. It's a big crowd here. It's unbelievable atmosphere. If you aren't here, you miss something, and believe me, but I see you second race.
Well, the United States lead 5 points from New Zealand and Belgium, Italy, France, South Africa, Estonia and Finland. But where is the United Kingdom? I have to tell you, way, way down. Spain, Germany, Australia, there they are, 12th place from Portugal, Japan, Sweden and Switzerland in 16th with 58. Slovakia, Canada, Czech Republic and Norway down to the top 20. But it was Everts that did the Americans in race 1. MX2 and Open, so the MX2's boys back on the grid. United States, Filippoto with Tedesco. So Tedesco being the weaker link of the American squad. Belgium, Ramon and Strybus. Everts taking a rest on this one. Finland, Spain, Australia, Japan, Germany, Portugal, Canada, Norway. Well, as you see, Norway only got one rider. So they don't have much chance, do they, really? Australia there with Boyd and Metcalf. Czech Republic, Slovakia, Switzerland and Sweden. Carlson, Nielsen for Sweden. What can these boys do? It's the Americans. Villipoto, there he is on the inside. Ryan Villipoto, the 18-year-old, the Mini Lights national champion for this year in America, the rookie Mini Lights national champion. But it's Tedesco that's got the drop on the rest. The American has found the speed off the gates as the rest fight for the remaining places. I spotted Ramon in there, number 9, but it's Tedesco, and that looks like Pourcel. Christophe Pourcel in second. There is Steve Ramon. Where's his teammate? Kevin Strybus. Well, a chance here for Belgium to claw back a possible points gap there with the Americans. Tedesco, where is Filippoto? There he is. So on the MX2 bike, the young man, the 18-year-old American, well, what a great outing for him here at this Fox-sponsored 60th edition of this Motocross of Nations here at Matley Basin, Winchester in Great Britain. So the leader, Ivan Tedesco on Suzuki, that leads this at the moment, riding in the open class. So it's MX2 and open class out there on the track. Well, as they start to close up now, who was that alongside Filippoto? There is Tedesco. Ooh, that was nearly off the bike. Track getting very, very rough. It's still the French MX2 star there in second place. Christophe Pourcel. Well, can he get past this American? Well, I'm sure he's going to try it, because young Pourcel really has been a hard charger. His brother Sebastian Pourcel riding in MX1 for next year, but out there on the MX1 bike. So there he is, Christophe Pourcel. That looks like Townley behind. So remember, these MX2 riders have been out, this is their second race in a row, only with about a 30-minute rest between the two races. So it's going to be tough for these boys. The sun has come out. We have got the best part of plus 70,000 people, and there must be another 5,000 out on the road trying to get in. It's incredible. Back here next year for a Motocross Grand Prix here at Winchester. Look at this. That's Townley now putting the pressure all over the young French star, the newly crowned MX2 champion. Caroli will be out there somewhere riding in the MX2 class. Antonio Caroli, well, he had a dreadful start to this Nations with crashing out of the first race, but can he make up something here in race 2? There is Filippoto. Is that Caroli? I spotted the blue Italian shirt. Antonio Caroli, is he behind the American? There he is. You can see him back there. That looks like a 38 bike. There's Townley. There's Filippoto, and it is! Caroli's there! Well, what a great start for him. Tedesco, Pourcel, Townley, Filippoto, Caroli and Jussi Veveläinen, the Finn. Great to see him back racing here in the UK. Likeable character. Rattray with his teammate Avis beside him. Ramon, Nunn and Strybus and Campano. So Strybus and Ramon up in there. Well, they're scoring high points. They need to move further forward. And Tommy Searle recovered here to race 2, down in 16th. Well done, Tommy. Beggi. Well, that's the other Italian, and not a good result for him at the moment. He rides MX3, of course, you remember. But Christian Beggi having a bit of a tough time there on the Honda Martin machine. Carlson, Kojimi and Dumaurier, 36 from the Frenchman. So France equally having a bit of a rough time. Pourcel scoring just a few points, but Dumaurier with a whole heap of 36 at the moment. He'll need to get somewhere into the top 15 to reduce some of that damage, but look at Caroli. Antonio Caroli, the Italian born in Sicily. Well, he's come here, he's done a lot of training in preparation for this. He wants to come here and fly the flag for Italy. Well, I've got to say, the Italians really have got something to prove. They want to get on the podium. They're used to being on that podium in the Nations. They've won this trophy just once. The States are there at the moment with 10 points, and Belgium and New Zealand. South Africa, Italy and France. Well, Italy have got a lot to do, 42 points. Finland, Spain, Australia relatively out of this one. Great Britain also with 79, equal with Estonia. Germany on 98. So remember, it's the point scoring situation. Each rider scores points as per their position. The first rider home scores 1, second rider 2, third rider 3. If you come home in 20th place, that's 20 points. If you don't finish the race, you get a whole whopping 40. Well, it's tough, and it's Tedesco that leads this, the American. Whoa, and Porcel's in trouble. Down he goes. Very lucky not to get collected by somebody else. Kept the bike running. Christophe Porcel have to straighten out the bars, and there he is, knocking down the handguards. But that was a mistake from the newly crowned MX2 champion, Filipotto, now under pressure from Caroli, who in turn has got Townley in front of those two, and this is going to be a three-way scrap for this second position. I'm wondering whether they can catch the American out front on the open bike. These are all 250 machines going absolutely superbly around this Matley Basin circuit. This is sensational racing as they go through Kayasha Corner under the banners. The Fox-sponsored 60th edition, and Filipotto has gone past Townley. Now it's the turn of Caroli. Can he get through? Ben Townley, the former MX2 champion, having a tough one here at the moment, but there comes the Italian up the inside as he made it stick. Yes! What a move from the determined Antonio Caroli. Look at the look on the Australian manager's face. He can't believe this is going on. It's New Zealand, because Ben Townley, of course, is a Kiwi. That's the Kiwi manager out there looking on. So he'll be hoping that New Zealand can contain that position. Oh, and Filipotto's got off the track, and he didn't crash. Unbelievable! How did he hang on to that? That is the save of the nations here. Look at the crowd. The Italian boys are going mad. Well, I've got to say, Antonio Caroli really has pulled the pin. There he is, second place. Big style as Filipotto tries to get back past Townley. So the National Mini Lights champion up against the former MX2 champion. And these two side by side, both, of course, on Kawasaki's. And Filipotto, well, he has got the edge at the moment on Townley. But what can Antonio Caroli do? Second at the moment behind the American. So American 1 and 3. Tedesco, Caroli. And just look at those lap times. Almost identical, just by a few hundredths of a seconds the difference. And here comes Caroli. He's got the American. Well, even Tedesco hasn't had much this year in the way of outdoor riding. He's missed most of the outdoor nationals through injury. And as a result, well, he's probably starting to find it a bit tough out there. He's about to drop back to third place because Filipotto has gone past him, his teammate. And now it's Townley for New Zealand that's closing up. So it is Italy. Well, this is unreal what's going on at the moment, because America are not used to being beaten by the Europeans. Everts beat Stewart in race 1. At the moment, it looks to me like Caroli's going to beat Filipotto in race 2. And at the moment, and Townley's gone past Tedesco. And that looks like a Belgium there. Is that Ramon? No, it is Ramon, because there is Strybus. Well, that's tough luck for Strybus, trying so hard to try and catch his teammate. But look at the Italian. Caroli styling it for the crowd. Oh boy, is he going to be happy with this result. He's beaten the best that America could send. Remember, Carmichael isn't riding. He has a shoulder injury, but he is here. But needless to say, they've still stuck it over the Americans again. Unbelievable. Look at that. Caroli, Filipotto, Townley, Ramon, Rattray, Tedesco, Porcel, who picked it up for 7th, and Jussi Veverlane, great to see the Finn back. Further down, Tommy Searle finished 9th. Well done, Tommy. Avis, none. What did our winner think of that result, eh? Oh, Kristen Beggy down in 16th, his teammate. Cody Cooper from New Zealand. Good finish for him.
Yes, very good race for me. I training a lot this week for keep the speed, because I know that Villopoto and Taule it's very fast at the beginning, and this week I try to in the training I make so many fast lap, and I just training for keep fast, and yeah, the first hit it's not so good because I crashed in the start after 2 corners, and I take the gap and I finish 10, but for sure when I start I'm third in the start, I can finish in top 5 in the first hit, but it's okay. The second hit, it's enough for me. Very good result, and I'm very happy for the season. And I say thank you for the team Yamaha, because the bike today it's very, very good, and also my feeling with the bike it's very, very good, and I win.
Yeah, he surely did. United States 30 points, New Zealand Italy scrapping over that second place. South Africa also closed in with France, Belgium, Finland and Spain, all squabbling over 4th and 5th. Further down, well, look at the crowd. Estonia, Great Britain move up to 10th, from Australia behind them. Then Germany, Switzerland, the Czech Republic, Japan and Portugal. Well, you've got to say they're going to be out of the top score, but at least they're here enjoying themselves, especially the Japanese riders. Slovakia, Sweden, Canada, Norway. Well, again, they're here having fun, riding against some of the best in the world. That's an experience worth remembering. But he did it. He beat the Americans, Tony Caroli. Third final race then. These are the MX1 and Open boys, United States. Of course, it's Stewart and Tedesco who has just raced. He must be feeling tired. Ramon and Everts for Belgium. Of course, drivers crashed out of that race. He still finished, but it heaped up a load of points for Belgium, so not much chance of them getting onto the podium. But you never know. It can change so dramatically in this final race of the day. They chuck the worst result away, and it's the best 2 that count. Czech Republic, Slovakia, Sweden, and Switzerland, of course, out there as well. So here we go. They're lining up for the final race here of the 2006 motocross season, because it is the Motocross of Nations. On the inside, yes, number 37, that's David Philippots on an MX1 bike. And who has got the drop? Is it the Americans? Oh, I can see Josh Coppins in there, number 10 from New Zealand. There's a chance for them ending up on the podium. They've been there before. I can remember in 2001 when they knocked Great Britain out of 3rd place. Not very nice of them, but there you are. It is, looks like Coppins second. The rest are squabbling over the places. Where are the Americans? Trying to sort them out from the rest. That is Philippots that leads. Who is second? Is that Coppins? No, it's Mackenzie. Billy Mackenzie for Great Britain, number 3. What a great ride from Billy Mack. He goes to Kawasaki next year. His final ride on Dixon Yamaha. Well, he couldn't really finish in a better way, could he? Here they come. Where is Everts? I just caught a glimpse of him on the inside, the winner of race 1. Mackenzie and Philippots fighting for that first position. And David Philippots, of course, rides KTM next year, and he will ride on MX1. So a little chance here to demonstrate exactly what he could do. There is Mackenzie, also on an MX1 bike, because he goes to MX1 for next year. It's Coppins back in 3rd. Then it is the 2 Belgians. It is Everts and Ramon. Well, Belgium in a good chance here. America lead by the lowest amount of points coming to this final race. But where are the Americans? One bad result from America could put them right out of the reckoning. Belgium with a chance of taking the podium. New Zealand in there as well. Look at these 2. Well, it's Philippots and now Everts that's having a go at this. Coppins is in there as well. Well, I have to say that after Antonio Caroli, I think David Philippots has been inspired. Absolutely inspired. Oh, Coppins has gone down. Front wheel got away. The Kiwi kid, Josh Coppins, kept it running. He's picked it up again, but he's lost a few places. Can he keep it clean? Cody Cooper out there on the open bike, and well, Cooper, the weakest link in the New Zealand squad, but he's gone far, far better here than he has in the Nations before. There is Stewart. Everts behind him, so can Everts get past Stewart again? Well, James Stewart must be thinking, well, he is the king, he is the world champion, But you know how the Americans tend to think. They tend to think that America is the World Championship. But hey-ho, you're about to get smoked again, my boy, by the true World Champion, Stefan Everts. Stewart hanging on to it. Philippart still out in the lead. United States 15 points. Further down, well, there you see the scores, but it's between Italy, New Zealand, Belgium and United States at the moment. And Everts holding on. Now can Stefan get past David Philipparts? Look at Stewart. Well, he'll be riding for the team, but I tell you what, he'll be riding for himself as well. He will not want to be beaten twice by Stefan Everts, but I'm sure that if he is, graciously he'll say, well, he is the king, the best in the world. So that's no embarrassment about that. Those pit boards will be saying to Stewart, ride for the team, Philipparts first. Stewart is second. Everts is third. They're all queuing up for this. 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. It's all about where Steve Ramone is. And look at Everts. Well, his final ride of his career. This is the last time you will see him in competitive action on a motocross bike. Next year, he goes orange. He becomes the team manager of KTM. That was a shock when that was announced at the press conference yesterday. And I can tell you what, the Yamaha team were more shocked than anybody. That was what I call a closely kept secret. And Everts goes into the lead. Stefan with that inimitable style of standing up like a trials rider through the ruts here. Well, Philipparts now under pressure from, well, Stewart's gone past him. So James Stewart will want to go after the Belgian world champion, Stefan Everts, and try and prove a point by beating him in this last race. Stewart second place, as the graphic depicts. Everts, to the delight of the crowd here, you are looking for the last time at the King. 10 times world champion, 101 Grand Prix. He's going to beat the Americans, but it won't be enough, I think, for Belgium to be on the top step. But he finished his career by beating the best out of America 2 times in a row. Carmichael's injured, but we'll forgive him for that. Everts does it. What a way to finish the career. Tanner Leok, Steve Ramone finishes 5th. Barragan in 6th from Porcel Sebastian. Josh Cobbins picked it up to finish 8th. The best, the question now is who's going to be 2 and 3 on the step. Tedesco went down to 9th. Mackenzie 10th with his teammate none behind him. Asuta for Japan. Cody Cooper for New Zealand. Have New Zealand done enough? Yes, they have. They've beaten Italy by 2 points. New Zealand 3rd. Now it's Belgium 2nd. Everts, Strybus and Ramone. Team manager, the famous Joël Robert. But it's America. James Stewart, Ryan Philippotto and even Tedesco. Team manager, the equally legendary Roger Di Costa. Wolfgang Schrub and Giuseppe Longo presenting the trophies with Francesco Zebi, the president of the FIM, with the Chamberlain Trophy for the Belgium team. But that's not the big trophy. That's still yet to come. Leon there, of course, looking always a little bit surprised. He's probably thinking, Dad, why are you not above everybody else? You normally are. But you're on the 2nd step. But Stefan won't mind. He's beaten the Americans. There it is, Chamberlain Trophy. Presented by Francesco Zebi and Roger Di Costa. The winning team, America. Well, they came, they saw, and they conquered. They didn't win the battles, but they surely won the war. There's no two ways about that. Look at those flags. 70,000 plus came here to see this. There's those #1 plates. Philippotto gets his. And a round of applause, of course, from the crowd. All 70 plus thousand of them. Everts with his #1 plate, the final one of his career. Strybus. So the standings, United States 15 points. Belgium and New Zealand just pipping Italy by 2. France, Great Britain recovered to 6. South Africa and Spain, the top 8. Further down, Estonia, they did a good job. Finland, Australia, not as well as they'd like to have done. Japan, Germany, Portugal, Slovakia, the Czech Republic. Nice to see the Eastern Bloc countries at last arriving at this great motocross of nations. Switzerland, Canada, Sweden and Norway, not disgraceful. 162 points. They came here, they rode, they qualified, and they can't really ask for, well, much more than that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, we're out here for the team, our country. You know, it doesn't really matter if we win motos or not, as long as we come out with this thing and another title to add on the USA. I mean, that's all that matters. You know, that second moto, the last moto for me, I just wanted to go out there and not blow it. So I'm really proud of these guys and my teammates, and we got it done.
He got it done. There's no two ways about that. Stuart rode sensibly for the team.
Yeah. We actually all got pretty good starts until this last race, and you know, it helped out all day. And couldn't have done it with James and Ivan, and you know, I think we're all pretty proud to bring home this trophy that we've had for so long.
18-year-old Ryan Filippoto here in the UK for the first time. He'll remember it.
For sure, it was tough. I haven't had that much seat time lately. I didn't ride the whole outdoor season, so for me to come here, I got as prepared as I could. But you know, I got a little tired, but it was good enough for the team to win it, and I'm just stoked again, you know, to be here and be a part of this.
Maybe the last time we'll see Tedesco, but he did it in honour. The Motocross of Nations for 2007 goes to the USA, Bud Creek, 23rd of September. I'm Kenny Kay, and we'll see you there.